This is where it all's made. The money. That's right. The United States dollar bills are all made in this building, located in Washington, D.C., right next to the Holocaust Memorial Museum. Now, it's interesting that they actually do not print the money on paper. No, it's actually considered a cloth. That's right, it's a cotton and linen blend. All right, so let's go over to the Lincoln Memorial, where we can see the $5 bill shot. Who's that, you ask? Oh, it's Abraham Lincoln. If you go onto the back, that's his own memorial, sitting really close. But yeah, here we are, Lincoln Memorial. Now actually, we're at 17th Street here, where right behind us, the Washington Monument lines up with the Capitol back there. But this is the World War II Memorial, where it lines up perfectly with Abraham Lincoln's memorial. And Abraham Lincoln, as you know, is the 16th President of the United States, most known for the abolition of slavery and winning the Union for the victory of the Civil War. But yeah, this is a $5 bill shot. Or you can look at the back of a penny. It's a penny shot too. Okay, now that we've seen the 5, let's go to the 10. Now take a look at this bill. This is Alexander Hamilton. He was one of our non-presidents on the United States dollar bills. But take a look on the back side. What's that? That's the Treasury Department, U.S. Treasury. So here we are at the Treasury Department. This is the $10 bill shot. Now we technically can't get over this way to get the shot of where it lines up, because that's the White House grounds. Right behind the Treasury Department is where the White House is. But if you see that little statue right over here, that is Alexander Hamilton. So he is in the $10 bill shot right here. But Alexander Hamilton, he was our first Secretary of Treasury. He was a very smart man. We were pretty much broke when we were starting up the United States. So Alexander Hamilton was the guy who came up with a brilliant idea. And this idea was to get other countries to invest their own money into what we call now government bonds. So government bonds were started by Alexander Hamilton. So next up, we're going to go over to the north side of the White House for the $20 bill shot. So this is the $20 bill. You can see this is Andrew Jackson right on the face. If you flip it over, what's that building? Well, that's the White House. So here's a closer look. Andrew Jackson sits on his horse, and he was a president, right? He was the 7th president of the United States of America. And this here is the $50 bill, right? So who's that on the front? Let's see, it's Ulysses S. Grant. Now, he was a general for the Union in the Civil War, and he also looked up to his commander-in-chief, Abraham Lincoln, during that time. But later on, he became the 18th president of the United States of America. Well, what's that building on the back? You see, it's the U.S. Capitol. And here we are at the U.S. Capitol. This is the $50 bill shot. So Ulysses S. Grant's memorial took over 22 years to be built, as it was handmade out of marble and bronze. And you can see on either side, representing the cavalry and the artillery, which he led in the Civil War. And of course, this is the west front of the U.S. Capitol, which is where we now do inauguration ceremonies. And it's on the back of the $50 bill. That's your $50 bill shot. One of my favorites. So these are the bills we didn't get to talk about today. The $100 bill and the $1 bill. And you're asking, who's on the $1 bill? Oh no, you probably already know. It's George Washington himself. And if you look on the back, it's mostly just artwork here. So we have one of the Egyptian pyramids in our federal bird here, the bald eagle. But if you look on the back of the $100 bill, by the way, on the front, Benjamin Franklin, a philanthropist, a printer. He was the Postmaster General, so he was the one that created the Postal Service. And on the back here is Independence Hall. This you'd have to go to Philadelphia to see. And right across the street from Independence Hall is where the Liberty Bell is. So it's quite a cool thing to see. But back to George Washington. He was the one who started it all. George Washington has so many names named after him. The Washington Monument, Washington, D.C. And throughout the whole United States, George Washington is mentioned a lot of places. He was a Revolutionary War hero. He was our first president. And he was known as the General. He lived in his place, actually in Virginia, down in Mount Vernon, Virginia. Just about 30 minutes south, here in Alexandria, Virginia. All right, I hope you enjoyed having a wonderful day with me in Washington, D.C., talking about the money. You guys have a good one.